Greetings, picture class. It is me, the Sappy Sorcerer. What? You don't recognize me? Well, of course, if you're new to the channel, you might need to check out episode 14, aka season 2, episode 1 of picture class to know who I am. I did a substitute episode, and we've had discussions, and now they've given me my own program. Terrific Tarot Time with the Sappy Sorcerer. Today I've been feeling that I need to show my talents to the world here, so I will be doing film readings, and instead of an algorithm by Netflix, you're going to get a quality attempted one. Now for this, I'm using a deck that I've never used before. The Salvatore Dali Tarot. I figured an artist, and of course the tarot begins with him as the magician, not the fool, which I think is kind of funny and very him. But the purple, the gold, makes me think of Prince, and we all know how cool Prince was, is, forever will be. This is also general. This is not for any specific zodiac sign. And if you don't know your zodiac sign, I'm sure you can figure that out by figuring out what day of the month you were born in what year. Now, if you want your rising and moon, you'll need to know the time of day you were born, the exact time of day, and where you were born. And with those three elements, you can have some clarity? I don't know. You tell me. So, we have, what is this? This looks like the Two of Swords. We're struggling between two things, but we're blind because we're wearing a blindfold. We have upside down. What is this? The Eight of Swords upside down. But the future holds something bright. The Magician, as I said before, the tarot starts with the Magician in the Dali deck. The Fool is actually not numbered. It's a lot of times numbered 0, but in this case, there's no number. Well, the future looks bright here, but right now the past looks like we're conflicted between two different things. Everything's either this or that. Seems like that sometimes. It's either A or B. There's no C, D, E, or F. There always is, but sometimes we don't think that. And we have this Eight of Swords energy, and it's upside down. But Dali is very interesting, because the first thing when I look at his paintings, I just see an X up here. And I don't know, I think 10. And 10's generally good. 10 of Cups is usually very good. 10 of Pentacles is very good. 10 of Swords is usually something's dead, done, and over with, but I don't know. And sometimes when you're struggling, if you're doing push-ups or something, if you have to do 10, by the 8th one, kind of tired, but sometimes these cards you have to push through because tarot is a story, right? Kind of like a movie that you want to give up on in the first 2 minutes, and sometimes you stick around to the last minute of the movie and it changes your entire perception. Now, is the movie good because of the last 5 minutes? But you weren't enjoying it the whole time, but it made you go back and watch the entire film again. I can say this firsthand for a movie called Guia la Testa. Now, why would I watch a movie called Guia la Testa, which means duck your head, or in America, duck you sucker? I think it was originally supposed to be translated to duck your head balls. I probably ruined that, but Sir Christopher Frayling, who is a Sergio Leone expert, talks about it ad nauseum. Now, if you've never heard of the movie Duck You Sucker, it is also known as A Fistful of Dynamite. Wow, that's nice. Fistful of Dynamite makes me think of A Fistful of Dollars, which was a Italian, Spanish, French remake of Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo, which was a Japanese film, which was highly influenced by, Akira Kurosawa was heavily influenced by John Ford, who was a Western director. So film as a communication, even when communication wasn't as instant as it was in the 30s, 40s, and 50s, was one of the most powerful forms. And Yojimbo became A Fistful of Dollars. It also became a movie in the 90s with Bruce Willis. It's always in a double pack, Last Man Standing. And to an extent, the Coen brothers covered it with Miller's Crossing. So that story of a person going into a town with two sides. So if you want some movies like that, 4 movies right there you can check out. Akira Kurosawa's Yojimbo, which came out in 1960, one of the most popular and probably his most popular characters, probably his most popular character. He eventually, Toshiro Mifune, crossed over with Zatoichi, the blind swordsman, so Yojimbo did meet Zatoichi, which universe building before it was everywhere was always a thing, kind of like King Kong versus Godzilla. They did more of these in the 60s. So 2 choices, you know, go into 2 towns, and that's kind of how A Fistful of Dollars is with Clint Eastwood, who was very influenced. He also saw Yojimbo, as well as Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis and Gabriel Byrne's character in Miller's Crossing. But what do I see here in the future? Maybe we need a little more magic. Magician. The Magician is the master of the tarot, one of the most important cards, because on his table he has all 4 suits. He has the sword, he has the, well, usually he's supposed to, but Dali has his bent clock, all the things that made Dali. And he did design this tarot deck, and this is a reprinting of it by Taschen. Didn't know if I mentioned it was Taschen, but Taschen. Okay, Taschen. But the Magician has mastery of the swords, has a mastery of the wands, has a mastery of the pentacles, and has a mastery of the cups. And when Hollywood film started, vaudeville was very big on it, and trickery and sleight of hand. However, now in the content era, we've become very focused on, we need to know everything right now for content. Bonus features on Laserdiscs, Blu-rays, DVDs, and now literally just newsfeed articles kind of just give away all the secrets before it's happening, taking away the illusion and the suspension of disbelief. So we all know it's a joke, so why are we all pretending? Kind of like wrestling with kayfabe. It used to be more important. And as I say that, what do I pull out? The 2 of Swords. In wrestling, the 2 of Swords, this is Luna Vachon. She passed away, but she was one of the most intense wrestlers ever, tougher than the rest, and in a different era could have been a little more successful, but had a lot of demons. But her character was so fierce, so intense. And in the tarot, you see there's a whole lake, there's islands, there's choice, but A or B. A or B, is it good or bad? So it's one of those things, I think. But wrestling with its vaudeville-ness, I don't know, has the same appeal as it, and also there's so much of it, it's kind of hard to digest. So we want something a little different, we want something with magic. Now, if you think of magic movies, you might think of The Prestige or The Illusionist. These both came out in the same year, you know. One of the things I like the most about magic is sometimes sports movies, specifically baseball movies. You know, the 6 of Gloves, 6 of Cups, nostalgia, but, you know, maybe this is the last out, and then you and the fans know that you get to participate. We like participating, right? I like participating. We don't like participating. So maybe we need things that we could participate in more, and this is where we think we matter with the discussions and we're shaping universes, but at the same time, when we get exactly what we want, are we always happy? You know, if we predict the next 5 years of Marvel movies and get exactly that, are we just happy we got what we wanted? Or we're, you know, so maybe a little bit more magic. I'm going to pull an oracle card because I recently came across a traveler, and the traveler gave this to me because they saw I was having a bad day, and luckily I was able to track this person down, and I was able to exchange my oracle deck. It was both our first oracle decks, so we're going to use the Crumbling. What are you clinging on to? So, you know, sometimes they're clinging on to, well, this is how I would have done this. This is how I would have done these movies. Okay, but maybe we live a little more magic. So we have some Westerns to watch. You can always check those out. But my choice, if there's going to be one movie, would be the one that I was started with before I went on this little tangent. And it has multiple titles, but it's called Duck You Sucker. It is also known as A Fistful of Dynamite. It is also known as Once Upon a Time, The Revolution, making Sergio Leone's Once Upon a Trilogy or America Trilogy, beginning with Once Upon a Time in the West in 1968, Once Upon a Time in Revolution in 1973, and Once Upon a Time in America in 1984. 3 different movies, and all of them, Sergio Leone had only done 7 movies, 7 credited movies in his entire career, most of which he had an argument. And my favorite quote he said, "People will forgive you for your failures, but never for your successes." He succeeded at Westerns, and they only let him make Westerns. His last movie was a gangster movie, which was over 4 hours, and against his wishes, they cut it down to 2 and changed the entire structure. It really deeply wounded him because he spent over 11 years trying to make this film. And as you can see, it had issues with Once Upon a Time, The Revolution. In different markets, there's different cuts of it in different places, and the audio mixing, it's a movie that I feel has never had a full, complete version available worldwide. But there's different interpretations to the movie, as well as the last minute of the most complete cut you could find is a flashback sequence that makes you change the whole opinion of the movie. And it sticks with me because the way the music cue is in the European version is far superior to the way it was done on the US DVD and I believe Blu-ray. It's a music cue which completely changes the tone of the scene. And you think that might be very nitpicky, but if you really are into the art thing, I guess you would get it. Thank you. This was a first, but if you like this kind of content and want more of it, yes, I said that awful word, content, please give us a like, give us a share, or give us a follow. Find us on TikTok. We have fun all the time. We do a lot of different things. We're also on Instagram. I have a daily Dylan sometimes, and today's Dylan song is Lay Lady Lay from 1969. We're gonna go for it since it was in the reverse, I believe, so we can do that. We have fun here on Quality Attempted. We don't take ourselves too seriously, and please feel free if you'd like to get a t-shirt. We have stickers, we have tote bags that we're working on, we have mugs. Join the Quality Attempted collective of trying to do something different. I've been the Sappy Sorcerer. I foresee that I'll see you soon.